Hi students, I am Professor Ravis Ahmed Hussaini, working as Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department in Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Yadra. In this video, we will discuss about the fundamental concept of the Applied Thermodynamics 1. So, here we will discuss about the introduction of the steam power plant. Students, you keep in mind that before starting the main content of the syllabus of the Applied Thermodynamics 1, I will created 2-3 basic fundamental video. It will help you to give the brief introduction about that Applied Thermodynamics 1, and it will help you to clear over the basic concept related with that subject. So you can refer this particular video to clear your basic concept related with that Applied Thermodynamics 1. So the most important and the heart of that Applied Thermodynamics 1 subject is the steam power plant. So the first fundamental video is deal with that introduction of the steam power plant. So the first point of that particular fundamental video is working of the steam power plant. So as we know that the steam power plant works on Rankine cycle. There are the 4 thermal processes which is included in that Rankine cycle. And the most important and the heart of the steam power plant is the boiler. So what exactly that the boiler do? The main function of the boiler is to produce the steam by conversion of the water into the steam in the evaporation process. So it is a main important component. There are 2 types of the boiler are generally used. One is fire tube boiler and second one is a water tube boiler. So in case of the fire tube boiler, the fire is continuously circulated through the passage of the tubes and it gets surrounded by the water. But in case of the water tube boiler, the water is continuously circulated through the tubes and it gets surrounded by the fire. And the second important component of the steam power plant is the turbine. So what exactly that turbine do? So whatever the steam, high pressurized steam is coming from the boiler, it enters on the surface of the turbine through the nozzle. So here the turbine produces mechanical energy in terms of the shaft rotation, and further that shaft rotation of the shaft is connected to the generator or alternator to produce an electricity. After that, the most important component, third important component in the steam power plant is condenser. So what a condenser do? The condenser is a device, it is a closed shell, it is mainly used to condense the steam and it will help to convert that steam into water. So whatever the steam is remaining after turbine process, after expansion process, so it enters in the condenser. In condenser, it get converted into water by circulation of the cooling water from the cooling tower. And finally, that particular water is given to the boiler through that economizer. So this is the general main 4 important component of the steam power plant. The first is boiler, the second one is the turbine, the third one is that condenser, fourth one is the cooling tower. Again that water is given to the boiler. It is just a closed loop. But apart from that, there are the n number of the components of the steam power plant. So how that steam power plant works? So before that creation of the steam, the most important component of that boiler is that combustion chamber. So in combustion chamber, the combustion of the fuel takes place. So which fuel is used in the steam power plant? Yes, the coal is the main fuel used in the steam power plant. So we need a big kind of the coal storage, and after that, from that coal storage, the coal handling device is there. So before that, entering that coal in that boiler, n number of the processes carried out in that coal to remove their moisture content or to make it dry. And after that, whatever the dry coal enters in that particular furnace, it get burnt due to combustion process. And after combustion, ash is produced. That at the bottom section, the ash handling plant is there. And finally, that particular ash is stored in that ash storage. So here, our main purpose is complete, to produce or to convert that water into steam. And that steam enters in that particular turbine, steam turbine. It may be impulse turbine, it may be reaction turbine. So suppose here impulse turbine is there, it works on the principle of the impulsive action. So it coming from the stage of the superheater. So why superheater is included here? So the main purpose of that superheater is if the steam is having some kind of the moisture content, it is become very dangerous in case of the entry of the turbine unit, because the corrosion is most important issues in case of that turbine. So in order to avoid that corrosion effect, and in order to reduce that particular harmful effect of the turbine blade or corrosion of that blade, or in order to improve the life of that blade, the superheating is must done. So superheating helps to improve the heating quality or dryness fraction of that particular steam. And finally, that superheated steam enters in the turbine. So here in turbine, when the steam is bombarding on the blades, then definitely not a single stage, multi-stage turbine is there. It will contain n number of the stage, low stage, medium stage and high stage. So here, whatever the mechanical energy is produced in terms of the shaft rotation, it is connected to the generator alternator for production of the electricity. So after expansion process in the turbine, the quality of the steam reduces, means that particular steam becomes wet, means some kind of the moisture content is definitely added at the end of the expansion process in the turbine, and the same particular quality of that steam enters in the condenser. In condenser, again the condenser are the so many types. The jet condenser is there, surface condenser is there. So the main function of the condenser is to convert that steam into water. But how? This is most interesting question. So along with that condenser, there is one conjugated element or device. The name of that device is the cooling tower. So what exactly that cooling tower do? The main function of the cooling tower is to give the cool water in the passage of the condenser. Then it is possible to convert that steam into water by latent heat of the condensation process. But what exactly done after that particular conversion of the water? That water is not thrown to the regular process. It can be used in the boiler again and again through that economizer. So what exactly that economizer do? The main function of the economizer is to heat that particular water of the which is coming from the condenser, and again it enters in the boiler for the next process. So this is a closed loop. Continuously that steam power plant works in the same manner. So from the boiler, whatever the steam is produced, it enters in the turbine through the superheater. Through that turbine, that expanded stream enters in the condenser, and from condenser the water is heated in the economizer, and again it enters in the boiler. So this is very interesting thing. So it is generally closed loop. But here we can see that there is one important device, that is superheater, economizer and air preheater. So there are three important components are situated one by one, and it can take heat from that particular through the radiation process. So in case of the steam power plant, the most dominant that heat transfer takes place by radiation, after that convection, and after that conduction. Keep in mind that. So whatever the flue gases are generated during the combustion process, it can be utilized to heat up that steam or that water through that particular devices. So that particular superheater take heat from that waste heat from that combustion process, and in terms of the radiation, and again here is the economizer. That economizer take heat from that particular radiation, and water heating takes place, and that air preheater. So what exactly that air preheater do? In case of the combustion process, we need the air, means oxygen is required for the combustion, and that air preheater is required to supply that preheated air in the combustion chamber. So this is the most important thing. Then again external feed water source is required, because always there is a loss of energy takes place, and we need some kind of the extra water. So here we can add extra water through that external feed source. And finally, whatever the combustion gases is passes through that particular passage, it can be exhausted through the draught, through the chimney. It may be exhausted in natural way, it may be exhausted through that artificial way or some kind of the forced way. So this is all about the working of the steam power plant. Yes, so here I listed the important components of the steam power plant. The first is coal storage, the second one is coal handling, the third one is the boiler, the next is air preheater, economizer, turbine, generator, ash storage, dust collector, condenser, cooling tower, chimney, and finally feed water pump. This is the advantages of that steam power plant or just kind of the Rankine cycle. So the advantages are, as compared with the power generating plant, it has a low initial cost and hence it is economical plant. The second important one is less land required for component with as compared with that hydro power plant or as compared with the nuclear power plant. So the power generation cost is economical. The third most important advantages of that steam power plant is this power plant has easy maintenance cost. So maintenance is very easy. And the fourth important is steam power plant can be installed in any area where water sources and transportation facilities are easily available. The next is disadvantages. The running cost of the steam power plant is comparatively high because of the fuel maintenance extra. If we talk about the overall efficiency of the steam turbine, it is very less. It is in between in the range of 35 to 41%. But when we compare the efficiency of the hydroelectrical power plant, it is more than 80 or 85%. Keep in mind that. And due to the release of the burned gases of the coal or fuel, it contributes to the global warming to a larger extent, but it not be happen in case of the hydroelectrical power plant. And the fourth disadvantage is the heated water that is thrown in the river, ponds, etc. puts an adverse effect on the living organism of the water and disturbs the ecology. So here that sustainability issue is there. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of the steam power plant. Now it is very interesting to know about on which thermal cycle that steam power plant works. So the answer is there are two cycles. The one is Carnot cycle, but keep in mind that Carnot cycle is a theoretical one. We never run any steam power plant on the with the help of that Carnot cycle. Keep in mind that. But the actual cycle utilized for the working of the steam power plant is the Rankine cycle. So here we will discuss that theoretical cycle, Carnot cycle. It includes four components. The first component is boiler. So what exactly that boiler do? Boiler, the main function of the boiler is to produce and steam. So whatever the steam is produced during this particular process 2 to 3, it enters in that turbine. So turbine, the expansion process is carried out, and after expansion process, the pressure and temperature of that particular steam is down, and that low pressure, low temperature steam or wet steam is enters in the condenser. In condenser, latent heat of condensation takes place. In latent heat of condensation takes place, and the steam get converted into water, and again that particular content enters in the compressor. But water is not compressible fluid, so it is not actually implemented anywhere. So this is the main limitation of that steam power plant. So in case of the isentropic process 1-2, there cannot be a practical achieved, as it is difficult to handle a two-phase mixture. Also, if the steam quality is poor, the process 3-4 is difficult to carry out. So here there is one theoretical cycle. It is never implemented anywhere. So keep in mind that. In next video we will discuss main thermal cycle which is used in for the working, and it is responsible for the working of the steam power plant, that is Rankine cycle. So our next video is related with the Rankine cycle and their representation on PV and TS, and at the end we will calculate the efficiency of that particular Rankine cycle. So keep in mind that Carnot cycle is a theoretical one and it is not implemented everywhere or anywhere.